I am so tired of waiting for the perfect opportunity to pull out my paints, get the paintbrushes. I have neglected my artistic endeavors because I felt like I just needed so much time. And I don't have much time to create. So I figured, what is the best way for me to do little bite-sized studies and still contribute to my passion for art? And so I was scrolling on social media and I discovered the Pantone challenge. So I received my package, and this is really major for me. You know why? Because I never was the type to doodle or sketch. So honestly, I'm doing this challenge because I hear so many times people, they emphasize the importance of doing bad art. Like, do bad art, create bad art. And so to me, I just disregarded it because I felt like, well, if I'm not creating masterpieces, then what's the point overall? Why am I even doing it in the first place? But now, since becoming a mother, I have a 7-month-old and I don't have all the time in the world to create the pieces that I want to create. So I needed a bite-sized challenge that I can not necessarily commit to, but to honor and show up. So I received my package, got it off of Amazon, and honestly, what I'm looking forward to is just creating again, creating and doing bad art. I never permitted myself the opportunity to do that. I'm always like, no, I cannot sketch. And whatever I do, it needs to be end all be all. It needs to be this big piece. It needs to be spectacular. And honestly, I feel like it has ruined me as an artist. And so if I can tell you and be straight up how many pieces I actually created this year, the answer would be 0, because I hadn't even finished the one that I posted on here before. So I needed to do art, and I think this is the absolute best way that I can do that with all the imperfections. So here it is. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, what's up? It's your girl VeeArtise, and I want to let you guys in on something real. I have found myself neglecting my art once again. And it's not intentionally, but it's because life can become so chaotic, I don't always have the hours to sit down and create these big, larger than life pieces like I used to. And what ends up happening is I don't create at all. Weeks can go by, months can go by, and I start to feel this weight, like a part of me is missing. And that's why I decided to take on the Pantone challenge for 30 days. Not because I have the time, because your girl really don't. But it's because if I wait until I have a big stretch of freedom or the perfect idea, I'll keep neglecting this part of me, and I cannot afford to keep doing that. So this challenge is about getting into the habit, getting into the habit of creating bad art, like I had already mentioned. And it's emphasized, as an artist, to do that. Get into the habit of sketching, of doodling, because bad art is where it's at. Yeah, I said it. It's where it's at. We can get so caught up in perfection, right? As artists, we want every piece to be polished, gallery ready, Instagram worthy. But sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself as an artist is to just create, to let the brush move, to let your hands remember what it feels like to accept the process instead of clinging on to the outcome. So for the next 30 days, okay, maybe not consecutively, but for the next 30 days, I'm giving myself 1 hour. 1 hour to create something. It doesn't have to be the greatest thing I've ever made. It just has to be mine. I have to own it and said, look at what I created today. Something is better than nothing. And I know that 1 hour is not much time, but it has to be enough. Okay. It is enough to keep the fire lit, enough to remind me that I'm still an artist. And the truth is, I hadn't created a single piece of art this entire year. And that hurts to even admit out loud, because what the heck have I been doing? If I would have just said, you know what, this little fraction of time is more than enough, then I can at least say I created something. But if I commit to this challenge, if I show up for myself day after day, I'll have 30 new pieces by the end. And that's 30 more than I would have had if I stayed stuck in this cycle of waiting for the perfect time. And for my first piece, I chose a lit match because honestly, that's exactly how I felt. Like I've been wandering in the dark, disconnected, lost, but even the smallest flame cuts through the darkness. That match will be my reminder that it doesn't take much to spark something again. It's the beginning, the ignition, the sign that I'm finding my way back. So if the work doesn't look perfect, that's okay. If some days I hate the outcome, that's all right, because it's not about the final product for this. For me, it's not about the final product. It's about the practice. It's about showing up. It's about honoring the artist in me, even in the midst of motherhood, responsibilities, exhaustion, and everything else that tries to steal my time. So if you've ever felt stuck, if you can relate to what I'm saying, if you've ever neglected the part of yourself that makes you feel alive, then this journey is for you too. Okay, because that lit match I painted isn't just a picture. It's a symbol of what it means to begin again. A match only burns for a moment, but in that moment, it changes the entire room. Darkness doesn't stand a chance against even the smallest flame. And that's what this challenge is for me. Choosing to light that match every single day, not waiting for the perfect time, not waiting for everything to align, but striking it now while it still matters. Because one spark is enough to remind me I'm still here. I'm still an artist. As I repeat myself, I'm still an artist. And the fire in me isn't gone. It's just been waiting. And maybe that's true for you too. Maybe all you need is one small act to wake that part of you back up. One spark to cut through the doubt, the fear, the excuses. And that's the power of the lit match. It doesn't ask if you're ready. It just burns. So this is only day 1. The flame is alive. Tomorrow I'll be back for day 2. And I hope you'll meet me here. Let's see how far this little spark can take us. All right? Okay. Bye.